The Sahel region of Africa has seen its share of turmoil, but in 2024, something new emerged: the Alliance of Sahel States, or AES. This wasn't just another talking shop. Three nations, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, came together with a purpose. They were done with the old ways. They were tired of outside powers calling the shots. The AES was their way of taking back control, of charting their own destiny. Their goal? Think big. They envisioned a confederation, a united front. Ultimately, they aimed for a federation, a true merging of these nations. But first, they needed to tackle a more fundamental issue: the narrative. For too long, the story of the Sahel had been told by others, often by Western media outlets with their own agendas. The AES decided this had to change. In November 2024, the message was loud and clear. Leaders and delegates from across the Sahel gathered in Niamey, Niger, for the conference in solidarity with the peoples of the Sahel. This wasn't just a meeting, it was a declaration. The AES solidified its stance. They were anti-imperialist. They believed in self-determination, and they were done with the West dictating their future. The conference was a pivotal moment. It showed the world that the AES was serious. This wasn't just about rhetoric, it was about action. They were ready to take concrete steps to control their own destiny. The AES understood something crucial: information is power. Whoever controls the narrative, controls the perception. And for too long, the narrative of the Sahel had been controlled by outsiders. Western media often painted a picture of chaos and instability, of a region needing saving. The AES knew this wasn't the whole story. Their solution was bold, government-certified digital platforms. They would bypass the traditional gatekeepers of information and speak directly to their people. And they would do it in their own languages, on their own terms. This was about more than just countering Western narratives. It was about reclaiming their voices. One of the most intriguing aspects of this media strategy is the rumored 25-hour radio station. Yes, you read that right, 25 hours. While details are scarce, the idea itself is telling. It suggests a relentless commitment to filling the airwaves with their own message, to ensuring that their perspective is heard around the clock. This ambitious media strategy is a clear signal of the AES's intentions. They're not just playing defense, they're going on the offensive. They're determined to reshape the narrative and control their own image on the world stage. The AES didn't stop at controlling the narrative. They took concrete steps to break free from Western influence. In January 2024, they made a decisive move. They withdrew from ECOWAS, the Economic Community of West African States. This was a clear signal that they were no longer content to play by the rules of a system they saw as rigged against them. But they didn't stop there. They also terminated Western military agreements, severing ties that had often brought more harm than good. This was a clean break, a declaration of independence. They would no longer be beholden to foreign powers for their security. The expulsion of AFRICOM, the United States Africa Command, from Niger, was perhaps the most symbolic victory. It was a direct challenge to Western military presence in the region, and a rallying cry for anti-imperialist movements across Africa. This break with the West wasn't taken lightly. It came with costs, including sanctions and diplomatic pressure. But for the AES, it was a price worth paying. Their sovereignty, their right to self-determination was non-negotiable. The road ahead for the AES is fraught with challenges. Insurgent groups continue to pose a threat, seeking to exploit instability and undermine the fledgling alliance. Economic difficulties, exacerbated by sanctions, loom large. And the expectations of their people, eager for tangible improvements in their lives, are high. The incident with Algeria in April 2025, when a Malian drone was shot down near the border, highlights another challenge: regional tensions. The AES's assertive stance, while welcomed by many, also risks alienating potential allies. Navigating these complex regional dynamics will require deft diplomacy and a willingness to compromise. The AES is well aware of these challenges. They know that building a new future won't be easy, but they are determined to succeed. They are investing in their own security forces, seeking to build up their capacity to address internal and external threats. They are exploring alternative economic partnerships, looking beyond the traditional Western powers. And they are engaging in dialogue with neighboring countries, seeking to build bridges and foster regional stability. The journey ahead will be long and arduous, but the AES is committed to charting its own course, to building a future free from foreign interference. Only time will tell if they will succeed, but one thing is certain, the Sahel will